Hello, all. Welcome to another episode of Direct Shift Stories. Today's episode or today's story is going to be amazing. We have great speakers who are there with us. In fact, Sherry is one of our guests, and we have our team at Direct Shifts who is going to talk in detail about what this is. In short, I would say that if you love your health, if you are mindful about what you're consuming on a daily basis, not only for physical, mental, spiritual health, you should be listening to this conversation. Do share in your feedback or leave your questions in the comment section. Over to you, team. Thank you, Sherry, for accepting our invite. Over to you, Bhairavi. Thank you.
Hi, Sherry.
Right. Hello. Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? I'm excited about this.
Yes, so are we. So, why don't you tell us more about what you do, your integrative health practice in general?
Yes, I like to call myself holistic health coach, and I'm also functional practitioner. I also have been a nurse for a very long time. I'm still practicing. So I help busy professionals who want to increase their energy, be more productive, lose weight, be fit, or prevent further disease.
Right, right. So, do you, Sneha?
Could you tell us more about like your? So, do you perform in health, in person sessions, or do you conduct teletherapy sessions as well? So that's our question. And prefer and the merits and demerits of each.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear part of the questions. Question.
Which do you conduct in-person sessions or tele sessions, or do you, and which one do you prefer?
Okay. Yeah, I always preferred one-to-one connection with people. So I used to see people in the office, but since COVID started, I was able to transition online. So everything happens in Zoom. But at some point, hopefully in future, um, if life goes back to normal, maybe we'll go back to office again. I have home office for now.
Right, right. Speaking of COVID, so for the past 1 year, I think most of us have been staying indoors mostly, right? So there has been an increase in the number of hypertension, diabetes, depression cases, right? So what do you think is, where do you think we're fundamentally going wrong? Is it with our lifestyle? Is it with our habits? What do you see? What do you observe as a health coach?
Good question. Yeah, I see a lot of uncertainty and fear. People are scared, and there's a huge change in lifestyle, in your everybody's daily lifestyle. So also, some people were able to manage to find a new lifestyle to figure out, let's say, if they're not going to the gym, what's the next plan, right? That was the issue specifically last year. Or how to start a new lifestyle, and some people are having issue and just staying in that state of mind that it's not available or it's scary. So I think generally it's the mindset, it's the way they react to what's going on. It's usually not what's happening, but how you react to it. So that can actually help you change your life for better.
So, but like, what if instead of like what we're doing, and what are the some things that we can do to stay healthy? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good question. Some of the things that just anybody can do is just be active. If it's not, let's say, 1 hour or regular workout, or it's just a walk. Or eating whole foods. Food could be issue, the way people eat, especially with fear, uncertainty, increased amount of anxiety. People start snacking, drink. There was a lot of drinking, alcohol involved. There was a lot of domestic abuse involved. So just eating, I went too far. I was only talking about food. So eating whole foods, just whole foods, that could be really helpful, and eliminate as much processed foods as possible. And meditate, and also spirituality. So you have to take care of your body and your mind as well. And you have to meditate in order to be able to move on, to get out of this state. So those are some simple things that anybody can do.
And like in the past, everyone's been piling on the couch. So how do we like avoid that weight gain? Like, we always, all of us are home at indoors. Keep that weight off.
+1 on that question.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. And can you repeat the question, please?
During the pandemic, we've all been piling on the couch, and and we're all indoors. We can't go out anymore. So how do we lose weight or maintain the weight? Even when we're always indoors.
Yes. Okay. I mean, there's so much available in nowadays. Good question. So we start with the mindset, right? So first you have to be open to adopt a new lifestyle. You have to accept that there are other availabilities. Just because old lifestyle is not available, it doesn't mean there is no solution. There is always solution. So first accept that there is something that you can do. And even if it's small step, let's say if you spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes exercising at home using, there's so many free online sources. It could be YouTube, or there is online sources that provide all types of exercises that you can be membership. You can be a member and use it regularly. I guess that activity is the first, because since you mentioned how to do it when people are stuck at home, that activity is issue. And then continue eating well, instead of because that can cause a lot of anxiety, staying home, not being able to leave. So be able to manage the anxiety and eat well as well.
Right. So, Sherry, you mentioned that you were a nurse for a long time, right? 30 years, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you served in the ER.
Yes. Several areas,
Yeah.
but currently in ER.
Right. So, could you tell us more about your experience in the ER? I mean, being in the ER, you must have had some sort of powerful experience that might have transformed you in some way, or that you might carry with you to this day, something that you can share with us here?
Yes, definitely. It was my experience that actually led me to what I do today, holistic health. So what happened was I saw people getting sicker and sicker, and just started thinking that there has to be other solution other than just medicine. So I started teaching about holistic health, holistic nursing, and what I realized was at that time that once people are getting sick and they have diagnosis, and they keep adding more diagnosis, and just taking pills is not enough. It's a way to maintain life, but the quality of life is not there. So what that told me is that prevention is the best. So that's why I went into holistic health to help people prevent instead of getting sick and not being able to get out of it. So that was
But so you mean to say that you were more motivated by being able to prevent people from getting sick rather than seeing them in.
Yeah, but I mean, chronic disease, it can start from diabetes, blood pressure, but and then people start taking medication, and then medication have side effects, and then start developing other disease because of the side effects and other conditions, and then it goes on and on and on. But in functional medicine, actually, where I end up training after nursing, we treat the root cause. So that's possibility as well. So this way, whatever is going on, let's say diabetes, high blood pressure, those things are reversible as opposed to just taking pills for rest of your life.
Right. And what would some of those healthy choices be to reverse such conditions, as an example?
Okay. So number one, actually, many things can be prevented, but with lifestyle, with nutrition and lifestyle. So those are very two major things. But I recommend people to work with someone in order to get there, as opposed to, so you have to be able to work with practitioner or a doctor or holistic health coach to get there. So it takes work, but there are many things that can be reversed naturally.
Right.
Basically, food and lifestyle is just the way you live, because we treat people as a whole. So just to give you a little more, just eating good food, healthy food is important, but it's not enough. Sleep is important, right? That affects the other areas of all other areas of life. Let's say, for example, exercise, sleep, exercise, or even environment. Sometimes people could be toxic environment, or people I work with or where I work in the hospital, it's high stress area, so that stress level also affects. So all of those areas needs to be addressed, so that people can go back to normal life. So that will give them possibility to reverse.
Yeah,
Right.
Sherry, I have a
And
quick question. I have a quick question. Thank you, Bhairavi. Thank you, Sneha. Now that you brought sleep into the conversation, there are many healthcare executives, there are many clinicians who are having sleepless nights due to you can call it burnout, you can call it stress because of people working in double, triple shifts. Um, Sleep is very important. This brings me a recent conversation about a chat which I had with one of our guests as well. Many people don't give importance to sleep. They think that they can just gulp ice cold coffee to do another double shift or go for another locums job. Now, at Direct Shifts, we are a staffing agency where we connect clinicians to employers. At the same time, we do have lots of hospitals, or we do help other hospitals with the staffing needs. So, how should healthcare executives manage their sleep? Because we do have choices when it comes to picking what we eat for breakfast, what we eat for lunch, what we eat for dinner, snacks. But when it comes to sleep, it's not in our calendar. What's your advice for healthcare executives or for all the nurse practitioners who are struggling hard, for therapists, counselors, psychologists? We know that sleep is very important, but what's your advice to people out there which is not where sleep is not in their schedule? Because the food also impacts the sleep, the kind of food, the caffeine. What's your advice for people to gi- for giving more importance to sleep with
Yeah.
in terms of health and nutrition? Because exercise also can impact sleep. So just let us know your thoughts about that.
Yeah, so importance is very high. Just like I mentioned, all of those other areas, is sleep is very important. And you're right. And many people tend to ignore because they are trying to make their day longer, or they think they can be more productive. But it works against them because not sleeping is causing higher stress level. So there is cortisol level is high. So often what happens is people end up having sugar cravings, salt cravings, and things like that. So that they start snacking on unhealthy food,
Wow.
or yeah, and or they'll start feeling tired because they didn't get sleep. Right, their body did not have enough time to rest. That sleep is to there for a reason, and you need to give your body a rest so you can actually start with fresh energy in the morning. So not have people start feeling tired and they start drinking coffee or sugary drinks or soda and things like that, and they're covering it. And sometimes they may not even realize why they are doing it until it becomes a real problem. So people become fatigued, or something that we call is also adrenal fatigue. So adrenal glands basically are giving up, not able to work. Uh, so those are many problems that could be caused just by sleep. It's really important to be aware and find that time. There is always time. It depends how you break up, how you schedule your day. You can schedule your sleep, even if it's not 8 hours, maybe 6 hours, 7 hours. Everybody is different, but I noticed many night shift workers, they sleep, like you mentioned, they skip most of their sleep. They will sleep 4 hours, 3 hours, or 5 hours, which probably causes a lot of problems, a lot of stress, and further problems in their life.
Thank you, Sherry. So thank you for bringing up that, because many people, due to the post-pandemic world, again, everybody working in the remote workspaces, everybody working from their home offices, probably they sleep next to their computers or probably hit the bed next. But this is very important. Thank you so much for sharing the insights, because lack of sleep, I didn't know that this would also help us probably crave for salt intake or
Yeah.
caffeine intake and all. Thank you. Bhairavi, over to you. Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure.
Um, Sneha, over to you. I guess probably
Uh,
Bhairavi is stuck. Can you? Yeah.
so I have a question. Our body and minds are interconnected, right? So when and it's a problem for many people I know. It's like when you're anxious or you're emotional about something, people turn to food like for comfort, especially in terms of in times where we can't turn to other people. So how do we deal with our emotions so that we can manage intake, because emotional eating is key. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. So you're asking about food and anxiety, right? Emotional eating. What was the question? What was the question? How do you prevent it? Is that what you asked?
How do we manage?
How do you manage emotional eating? Yes. First of all, awareness. Once you have to know, you have to be able to, because we are creatures of habit. So we do things, it's like habitual. You constantly, let's say, if you got stressed out or something happened in your life, you don't even realize that you're doing it. You're just grabbing the chocolate or maybe the donut or, whatever that is. First of all, you have to be aware. So for that, you have to spend some time yourself. You have to have downtime. You have to have quiet time. Or people work with me, and then we spend an hour session talking about getting clear, like just asking me being there and holding space and asking questions, allow them to reveal a lot of things about themselves that they wouldn't otherwise be aware. So you have to be aware what's going on and where does it start. And it's probably easy to say, but a lot of times you have to realize that's not the solution. Food is not going to help you relieve anxiety or whatever emotional problem. Let's say if people have problem at work, food is not going to help that problem, right? It's not going to solve the problem. So you have to actually go and solve the real problem and have that knowledge and the skill to be able to do that. And again, which is why we look at the whole life. So if you have a healthy lifestyle in place, you're sleeping well, you're eating well, and you are exercising, you're meditating, all of those things, there is a lot less room for that. You know what I mean? If your body is nourished and hydrated and you're well rested and you're, meditated, let's say the night before or every morning, and there are not many negative thoughts that's blocking you all the time. And so that's basically you eliminate that and make a lot less room for that. So it's a whole lifestyle you have to live.
And also, is there any? Thank you, Sherry. That's amazing. Creating an awareness among with respect to what you eat. So, is there a 5 day challenge, or like UPW family or Tony Robbins family would know? Is there a 5 day challenge or a 1 week challenge with you on emotional eating? Because we all binge eat with Netflix, with the kind of content which we are consuming through digital devices, scrolling through the news feed. So do you run any challenge for Luv-Health, or is there any 5 day challenge with Sherry or anything like that for 21 day?
Yeah, I have free challenge. I usually do maybe once every 2 months or something like that, and I have free master classes, and there are many services available. Also, I customize programs for people. So if someone is interested, just reach out and we can um, put a plan together.
Yeah, awesome. Over to you, Bhairavi. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
So, Sherry, you were talking about holistic health practices, right? So, I'd like to know now. There are people with comorbidities who are really struggling to face this entire COVID situation. So, are there any methods by which people with comorbidities can increase their immunity, to fight COVID, to survive COVID?
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, always go back to immunity. You have to take care of yourself. These things are always going to be around, but just taking care of yourself. And again, eating real food, whole foods, and exercising. Those are the two main things that it's not even negotiable. You have to have those things if you want to have healthy lifestyle. You want to prevent disease. So you have to do something about it, and so those are things. Going further, there are many things I guess you can do. Lots of foods that are specifically for immune system. For example, turmeric, ginger. Those are good. Drinking teas and or using with food and things like that. There are oils like oregano oil is natural antibacterial, things like that. If someone wants to go to the next step and really work on these things, so there are lots of herbs, oils, and things like that that can be used to daily basis to increase immunity.
Right.
And stress is very, very important. Stress is very important cause of lowering immunity. So that has to be taken care of it as well. Having stress management practice in place, that would be also very good help.
Right. Over to you, Sneha.
So my question is like, you used to be a nurse and now you're a holistic health coach. Has your definition or your thoughts around health and how to define health, have they changed in any way, and if so, how?
Oh yeah, it changed in many, many ways. It changed many ways. Good question. Yeah, I used to be a nurse, and actually, my father used to send me books about holistic health and herbs and things like that. And I was very much into nursing and taking medicine. Even when I had cold, I would just take Tylenol to speed up the process, get well, and go to work. I was following all of those things, but I rarely go to medicine nowadays. I take care of everything naturally. First of all, I make sure I eat, drink, all of these things I recommend to everybody. I practice myself, exercise, and stress management the techniques as well, like meditating daily. And so yeah, my approach is naturally. There were several things actually happened to me in the past as well. First of all, I was sugar addict myself growing up. I tried all fat diets, and I had weight issues myself. So I tried all of those things. I was also on medicine called Nexium for acid reflux in my early 30s. But once I became a health coach, I started eating whole foods, natural, clean food, started cooking. So I ended up not needing medicine ever. So my clients are able to do the same. And so basically, my approach is natural first. And thankfully, I am, actually, maybe another example I would give you to just prove my point. Also, couple of years later, I was just doing too many things in my life. I was committed to several things, building my business and still working in ER and clients and things like that. I ended up burned out, so I had no energy. I was having migraines. I was gaining weight. My hormones were out of control. So that was also another wake up call for me to stop what I was doing and take care of myself. So I had to put my business on hold just to open up time for me, and created a balance. I started working out regularly, did yoga. I cleaned up also the again because I had food sensitivities. Sometimes that could be huge issue. So thankfully, all of those things I mentioned disappeared. It took some time. I worked on it, but I got my energy back. I don't have any more migraines. I don't have any issue to maintaining weight. All of those things naturally. I did naturally. So I don't just go to medicine first. I'm not saying there shouldn't be medicine. There should be, but it shouldn't be first choice. There are many things that can be done naturally to prevent that. And if that's the case for some people, it's still okay. Yeah, I'm glad we have medicine. So there should be medicine, but not the first choice.
Right. There always needs to be a balance, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, Sherry, you were saying that you were juggling multiple things, and I came across a post of yours where you were talking about working full time in ER as a nurse, and you also had to go back to school. You had to complete your higher education, and you also had your daughter was in college, and you had to support her as well. So it must have been a very challenging period for you then, right? How did you manage? Could you throw some light upon that phase of your life?
Yeah, it really was challenging time. So what happened was, when I mentioned I had these several problems. I was having acid issues and gaining weight early. That was in my 30s, of course. And being in my career, what I realized was there has to be some other solution. And then I started searching. And then when I found the health coaching school, it was basically love at first sight. I knew this is what I want, and this is exactly what I was looking for. And at that time, I didn't even know anything about coaching, and I wasn't really planning to have second career, but I knew that was my passion, so nothing was going to stop me. And I did everything to complete this training, to start my business, and yeah, which is and it was challenging. I guess it was, now looking back, it was difficult, but because I knew that was my passion, and I know once I set my mind to it, nothing stops me. So I did it. I completed, and I paid for it, sort of, because I was burned out. I didn't have energy, but I took care of that as well. So everything is learning experience, as long as you learn from it and move on. So I ended up helping myself, healing naturally, and I can do the same for other people. So everything is learning experience. I don't things like that don't upset me. Even something did not go right in my life, I know that's a learning experience. So I just move on.
Right. And how did your family support you through this?
My family is always supportive, so nobody really stops me doing from what I do. My kids are big. They were big at that time when I was changing my career. My son is very much into nutrition way before me, so he's always my number one supporter. Yeah, I would always call and share. Every theory I learned, I would be so excited and sharing with him. Um, and my daughter as well. They're always happy to see me growing, even though I'm older, I'm not younger, but they're happy to see me growing, and sort of, I guess I'm a good example for them.
Also, this reminds me of one of your recent birthday postings, probably with your grandkids, I guess. What would your suggestion be for the pandemic parenting? Because as children, we are all addicts to sugar. I don't know how, because of candies, chocolates, cakes. Uh, Consciously or unconsciously, we always crave for something sweet. My daughter is a huge fan of anything which is sweet. What's your advice to pandemic parenting? Because everybody's at home, the kitchen is always busy. Nobody is conscious of what to eat. When it comes to healthy living, what's your advice to pandemic parenting, Sherry?
TV, screens, mobile,
Yeah.
related to that as well.
Uh, yeah. So first of all, don't have those food at home. Don't have those sugary snacks at home, like I don't. Buy fruit instead. Fruit is sweet as well. So fruit has sugar as well, fruit sugar, but it's way better than, let's say, Kit Kat, Snickers, or whatever that, or other Oreos, right? Or other processed foods. Fruit is much better. You have them drink, hydrated. So many times people start eating um, sugar because they're dehydrated. People, those are like simple things don't know. And be example, change your lifestyle yourself, and so your children can follow. I have many clients who come to me, and once their children are a certain age and they're worried, they come to me and they say, I want to learn this. I want to eat better. I want to have healthy lifestyle so I can teach my children as well. And they, once they see their children are gaining weight or not eating well or having problems, so that becomes a huge issue for parents as well. So yeah, definitely change the whole lifestyle. One of the
So,
I do. Sorry, just want to say,
yeah, yeah.
when
Good,
I'm
good, good.
working with my clients, I give them kitchen clean out. So I tell them,
Wow.
go clean your kitchen, throw out all the cans and boxes and things like that, and then you start a whole new lifestyle. So that's how you start.
Yeah,
Yes,
that reminds me of a pandemic kitchen challenge. It should start from somewhere. All things cannot be started only by Oprah. So, so there should be again, pandemic kitchen, or we should be very conscious of what we eat, what we are not supposed to eat. Thank you so much. So you guys can continue. Thank you for that insight, Sherry.
sure, absolutely, my pleasure.
Yeah. So then you must have learned so much over your career. So what are the skills that you learned as a nurse that helped you in your new careers?
The skills. I don't think if okay, no specific skills, but the fact that I can pick up that they are what their risks are because of the way they eat, the way the lifestyle is. So that allows me to see what their risks are. They're going to develop either, let's say, for example, heart disease, or they're overweight. So it means they are at risk for they're going to develop diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of those things. So having that knowledge and experience allows me to help people prevent so that they don't go that far. And actually, I had several clients recently because of that. And so they were able to stop taking their blood pressure medicines once we worked together, and they had their lifestyle. And I did have a client who was very stressed out because she had high blood pressure. Because was stressed out, she wasn't sleeping, her son wasn't sleeping, she was almost passing out. There was so many things with her, but we changed just a few things. Within a week, she already had amazing results. So by the end of 3 months, she learned so much, and her lifestyle changed. And she was just so grateful to have normal life. That must be scary if you feel like you're going to you almost going to pass out or not sleeping every day. That's stressful. So that's where I guess comes in handy my nursing skills.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So, yeah.
Sure.
So Sherry, in about 2 weeks' time, I think between May 6th to May 12th, we'd be celebrating National Nurses Week, right? So, is there something that you would like to tell your nursing fraternity, the ones who are on the front lines battling COVID? What would you like to say?
Yes, a good question. Yeah, I like to say nurses taking care of themselves, because nurses take care of everybody else but themselves. And nurses have very high stress level, high stress job. So everybody's very stressed out. Honestly, everybody's very unhealthy in nursing. I am happy to say, though, I'm working with 2 nurses currently. That makes me happy to see that nurses taking care of themselves. So it's really important that they take care of themselves, and then start taking care of others, because and even the food, because it's stressful job. There's so many unhealthy food around where we work. Nurses work all the time. I see that, and it's stressful, and they just keep working and working and not doing much for themselves. So my number one message for nurses: please take care of yourselves. It's really important to take care of their health, and so we can have them around more.
And also, this reminds me of Mr. President saying, if there are any angels from heaven, it's all the male and female nurses. That's one of my favorite short videos, which I always use on Instagram or on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, on social media. That's something, again. Thank you so much for all the work which you have done, Sherry, for decades. Again, thank you for reminding for everybody to take care of themselves. So, could you give us a gist of how your shift changed into becoming an entrepreneur or becoming a coach through Luv-Health? So, could you share us the story of what made you start Luv-Health, as in Luv-Health.com, or your business? Because all the nurses out there are struggling in double shifts or 12 to 15 hours a day doing what they love, at the same time trying to generate some revenue. So how did your journey, or how did that shift happen?
Yeah, one of the reasons, because where I was working, and I saw people getting sicker and sicker, and kept coming back. I saw the same people in the hospital over and over again. So that made me think that these people are not feeling good. That they're not getting where they are supposed to be. I wasn't fulfilled. I didn't feel fulfilled. I wanted to help people, but I didn't feel like I was helping because they kept coming back. So I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to help people prevent, instead of getting sick and sicker and sicker. And I was just lucky also. I found my passion, and so that was it. It didn't take me long to make the decision, regardless of what part of life, what stage I was in that at that time. So
We
I
do
made.
always, yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. We do always get our breakthroughs. And they say that if one door closes, another one opens. So we always have that different perspectives of starting a new phase of our career and life. But thank you for sharing that. Over to you, Bhairavi.
No, absolutely. There's always, if anyone who's not happy doing what they're doing, there's always solution. There's always something else that can be done, or can be done maybe the same job in a different way. So
And also, this reminds me, like the way you mentioned now, if they are not happy about the current job, it's time to move on. But again, research and reports show that 87% of people are not happy doing what they love. I mean,
Yes.
they're not happy doing what they do for a regular job. Everybody wants to do or hustle, or everybody wants to post on social media. It's again, it could be the digital craving, probably the digital scrolls, the likes, comments, and shares. Everybody's getting glued to this new phase of what Mark Zuckerberg had started, or what LinkedIn and what everything through Instagram or LinkedIn,
Everyone's a
keeping us.
celebrity today.
Yeah. So I don't know where the world is going to end in another century, or um, where we all going to end probably 30, 40, 50 years or 100 years from that online. But lots of kids also, because of online gaming, the kind of content which they create. And that's again, for the Nurses Week, I would say that uh, the theme for 2021, it's a vision for future healthcare. Because the global COVID-19 pandemic has shown the world that nurses play and they play a major role keeping people healthy, not only themselves, but they take care of the other people first. So thank you so much for everything which you have done, Sherry. Again, being an inspiration to all the other nurses out there. By the way, you can continue. Thank you. I mean, as you guys chat, there are few thoughts which are hitting me, and like I don't want to miss on them. That's the reason I'm popping in. But this is amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure. I love sharing. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, we can start a new hashtag saying Sherry shares, or share with Sherry, probably like a coffee show, or share with Sherry. That's a good one.
Sherry,
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, share is a powerful keyword on LinkedIn or Facebook. You hit share, share, share. People, we always say, "Can you please share this? Can you please share this?" But this is amazing. Goes well with your name, share with Sherry, because I don't know if he had seen lives with Rollis. Again, Rollis is one of our influencers too on LinkedIn lives. Rollis, if you just put hashtag live with Rollis, you'll find his content. He does lots of lives with all the other influencers on LinkedIn mainly, live with Rollies. So normally I started up coming up with Talk with Raj, like TED Talks. I thought, okay, let's, instead of hitting a wall, let's be somewhere. Let's talk about healthcare staffing and recruitment. And I started Talk with Raj, but didn't rhyme well. Might sound weird. Probably Sneha should come up with, Bhairavi should come up with their own shows. But Share with Sherry would be my favorite show if you do it every week.
Absolutely, yes. I'm available.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
Over to
always
you,
like
Bhairavi.
to come up, right? So this is good. So you always be creative, and this is what we were talking about, right? There is always
Yeah.
something. You
There could
just
be great ideas just like that, probably through brainstorming, through discussion. Again, women are more creative. You, all three of you, can talk for entire day. I know that, but in the interest of time, in the interest of what Bhairavi had scheduled and circled, and Sneha also has got a couple of questions, but probably it could be the mobile connection, internet connection. All three of us are in India, but we manage all the operations, probably take care of everything in the US healthcare space. But we are operational only in the US markets, not in India. But over to you, Bhairavi. Thank you.
I have just one last question, Sherry. What would you say to women who want to change their careers later on in life? You know, mothers who have spent a good few decades into their professional life and then they suddenly change careers. What advice would you give them?
So people who already changed careers,
Who
or
like to change careers?
I
Yeah.
would like to change. Okay. Yeah. And again, I believe in having open mind. And like Raj mentioned, there are a lot of people who are stuck doing their 9 to 5 job or whatever job, but that causes burnout. Being in toxic environment is very stressful and it's unhealthy. Okay, so that's one of the things also I work with my clients, that could be a reason, right, to overeat or gain weight if you're not
Yes.
happy. So there is always something. Keep searching. Coaches are really great to work with, and working with if somebody's not sure what they want to do. I am mostly focused on health and wellness. But I have many friends who are business coaches or life coaches or whatever kind of all kinds of different coaches that can help them to find their passion. And if they are not happy with what they do, this has to be something else, some other passion that somewhere else they belong to. Even if it's late stage, middle age, or whatever, it doesn't mean much. If you're a gambler, if you're a risk taker, if somebody's entrepreneurs are always risk takers. So you can still succeed. It's not about the timing. It's about how committed you are and what you want to do in the world. It's about that. I would say go for it. If you want to change career, go for it. Yeah.
Sneha?
Yeah, sure. So is there that you like to add? Really hope you liked being talking with us today. Yeah.
Sorry, did not hear the question again.
Sorry. So would you like? Is there like like really? We loved having you here. I hope.
Okay, I think she's asking you how did you like being up here?
Being a what? I'm sorry.
She's asking you how did you like being here
Okay,
all day?
Sherry, we just wanted to know how was your experience for last
Oh my
45
God.
minutes. I mean,
Sorry. Yes.
again, it's the internet connection or probably mobile data,
Sorry.
I would say. But um, uh, what's your experience like being here, speaking to us for last 30, 45 minutes?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing, obviously. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for allowing me to share. And thank you for putting this together. I'm sure it's a lot of work. And yeah, hopefully the tips I shared is going to be helpful to some people, specifically nurses. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys.
I would say again, thank you for the $1 million idea share with Sherry, which is going to be viral for sure. Probably, I'm just waiting for. Actually, I'm glad that Bhairavi brought up that question as to what's your advice for moms, because uh, they earlier they used to have double jobs, like probably forget about the double income. People used to take care of home and their office. Now they have triple because they are doing schooling, doing home tuitions, they are taking care of the kids, they are doing too many things, multitasking, again, burning everything. No, no. Again, probably the kitchen challenge or pandemic challenge. Are there any other last, like, do you have any other last message, Sherry? Like, would you like to share anything else with our listeners?
Yeah, my last message for people would be just take care of yourselves. Don't wait. If you have a goal, you want to have more energy, you want to have a healthier lifestyle, eat healthy food, improve any area of health, or maybe lose weight, and whatever you want to work on, do it now. Don't wait, because waiting does not help. And just love yourself, respect yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, no one else will take care of you around you, right? So you got to take care of yourself first. It's really important. If you want to have quality of life, then you take care of yourself now and look for help. If you're not, you've been trying things, you haven't been successful, and and then that creates mindset that there is no other possibility. This is not possible, or it's not working out. But it's not true. Just because you tried something, it didn't work out, it doesn't mean there is no solution. There are solutions. Ask for help. If you don't know, if you have a goal, you want to get somewhere, you want to get healthy, have better lifestyle, then ask for help. Look for a coach.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sherry. In fact, that's another great point. We don't take care of ourselves. we always overestimate the other person's fitness levels, other person's exercise, other person's food, and we underestimate our own taking care of our own selves. And we don't take it seriously until we hit a crisis. That's what I have seen in many people. Unless we hit the wall, and like it's only when we hit the wall we are more serious. It's not we need to take care of our health, mental health, and physical health, spiritual health only when we hit the ICU or when we are in the bottom of the gravel. It's like we need to do that in every breath we take, or probably in our daily lives. Bhairavi, do you have any other last pieces of questions, or do you have anything else to ask for?
Yeah, I just have one thing to say, Sherry. It's been great talking to you. I find your journey very inspiring personally because I'm a parent too, and I also try to juggle between following my dreams and parenting in the midst of a pandemic. So very insightful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Sneha,
I no, I do not have any. Been amazing. Been yeah. You've told me what reminds me of all the advice my parents give me. From within and eating well and all that. It's almost been like speaking to a parent, and it's really really so informative. Especially the part where about emotional eating, which has been a problem for me, really helped. Uh, I've realized that you said that I need to fix the real problem. It's a blame that on the wall. So yeah, thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Sherry, for all your valuable time, and thank you for sharing your story with us. And for all the listeners out there, if you're watching the replay, um, please do share in your feedback. Do share any kind of comments. You'll be able to catch this also on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. We'll share the recording with you. Sherry will send you the links again, and we'll keep this engagement going on. We'll keep this conversation or probably the relationship going on, trying to make everybody love their health specifically. So love health is also the core part of love your job, love your work. I mean, love health will give an overview of everything. So probably we'll have quarterly discussion, or we'll talk to you again with another episode, or probably we'll bring another episode to this particular story. And in case if we would want you on a panel, we would request you to please accept that as well, in the healthcare space. um, so that would be from my end. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you, Bhairavi. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys. All
Bye
the
bye.
best
Take
for
care.
all the endeavors.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.